Hello, Eli Lippert here with my scenario, how comic books relate to the world and could they be used in a classroom? So, my initial response to this question was, I don't know. Personally, I didn't know at the beginning. I was like, yes, possibly, but I was not sure. After research, I was like, yes, definitely, this could be a good thing. Us children, we need something a little bit better than books, like actual books. We don't want to read 200-page books, reading 50, well, more than 200 page, reading 200 pages a week of a 1,000-page book. We don't want to do that. We never have and we never will. Personally, I think it's boring and a waste of time. But with comic books, we can change all of that. So, my survey. I took a survey of about 30 people, I believe. The gender amounts of people, the male and the female, were fairly equal. There were about two more females that took the survey, I believe, and about originally in the survey, 60% of people said yes, this could work. I'm on board. 40 said no, no way. Throughout the survey, I kind of explained to them how this could work, how this would be a good thing, and 92 and in this group, 92% of people had read one before, like a comic book or a graphic novel. Anyway, I asked them if they have seen a superhero movie. 97% said yes, 3% said no. And out of these, people that took this, out of these 30, 41% had never recognized some sort of lesson in the movie, while 59% have recognized lessons within these movies. And um and they said that yes, there are very good lessons in these movies. And I said these actually came from the comic books. The movies didn't make those up. They were from the comic books. The comic books came up with these lessons and put them into what they are. The producers just took that from the comic book, put it on the big screen, filmed the cast, put it on the big screen. So within these movies, people go through things that normal humans go through. There are some things that they did not take from the comic books, but the main lessons of the movies they did take from the comic books. Anyway, it's my second part. So in real life, like in comic books, they've changed, but first I would like to go through the historical value of comic books. Propaganda, actual historical events, goofy depictions of historical events, such as World War II, stuff that went on then. For instance, DC's Star Spangled War stories. Nazis killing, interrogating this man. That's something that definitely happened. Combat Kelly and his Deadly Dozen. He's fighting the Nazis. Sure, they may be a little bit exaggerated and not exactly politically correct, but it still works as history. Sergeant Fury and Italian Commandos fighting the Nazis. Sergeant Fury and Italian Commandos liberating Paris. Things like that. It's even the little things, and I think that these are valuable. Nowadays, we have a more matured understanding of what went on, such as Von Fries, that shows the horrific experiments of what happened in concentration camps and the prejudice of the Jewish people, which I think is really important to know about so it doesn't happen again. Which I think if we don't understand how terrible that was, it could totally happen again. There could be another Adolf Hitler. And these comic books are the best way to learn from that. Even nowadays, they've made some on controversial topics and how, say, Superman is a lot like God. Invincible, beautiful, strong. He's a hero to everybody. Doesn't have any weaknesses besides kryptonite. He's basically God, just written in a comic book, and people have realized that, and people have called that out. So they've tried to make him a bit less, at least not like just the Christian God. They try to make him a little bit like all the gods, I guess. Anyway, the next one. So in the 60s, like 40s to 60s, anytime before the 70s, people would have been disgusted to see an African American as a superhero. And personally, I think this is great. I think that it's great that they have implemented African Americans in the comic books, such as Black Batman, Tim Fox. That's current events. There's a lot of like he deals with racism in the comic books, and I think it's great for people and children to learn about how offensive that is. And even with all of like the drama going on with people getting shot in the streets for no reason by like veterans and cops and things like that, there's no reason for it, and the comic books are trying to kind of show that as well. Like with John Walker, he's a U.S. Army soldier, a successor to Captain America. He's not a good guy. He's a bad person. He murders. He's not good, but he's trying to become better. But they've stopped kind of idolizing these like per se army men and put them out to see what some of them actually are. They're not all the heroes in the red, white, and blue. That was my scenario. I hope you liked it. I think it's an important topic, and I think it's better than regular books. I think the stuff that we've done is kind of boring. Christmas Carol, Graveyard Book, Tuesdays with Morrie. Man, that book was just depressing. I think as a whole we could agree that comic books would be more fun, maybe even better in like an educational sense. Maybe not in math or science, but definitely in history, reading, ELA. Goodbye. I hope you vote comic books.